He's made 100 appearances already, 111 actually for Ajax at the age of 19, and is also already in the Dutch national team.
Very much feels like it's a buyer's market this summer, doesn't it?
Not massive money in the current climate.
35 mil.
But it hasn't happened for him, has it? And I think everyone that looked at it at the time and thought, how's he going to get in that midfield?
Hello and welcome to Transfers Exposed. I'm Will Pugh. That right there is the Sun's Deputy Head of Sport, Dean Scoggins. And we are here bringing you your exclusive press pass to the hottest transfer stories throughout the entire summer.
Yep, that's right, Will. We will be here every Tuesday and Thursday, right through until September the 1st, when that transfer window slams shut, bringing you all of those biggest and hottest deals.
Exactly, Dino. And on Tuesday's show, which did extremely well, by the way, Chelsea fans loving the Xavi Simons story that we broke down so well. You said the phones are now hot in the transfer market and the deals are starting to be done. That is exactly what has happened. Marcus Rashford here. It's almost like you predicted it, Dino. Stepping out of a London phone box after his deal to Barcelona was confirmed, even though he's from Manchester.
I don't think they're strictly just London phone boxes,
No.
but, you know, London-centric you will think that maybe.
Well,
but
quite. Yeah, sorry. Rashford's loan to Barcelona, done. Hugo Ekitike to Liverpool, done. But we are going to have a look, Dino, at some more deals that have not been done yet, and there's only one place to start, is there not?
Right, Will. In this video, Chelsea, yet again.
They
won't go away.
Dino, they will not.
Can we do one episode without talking about Chelsea? But probably not with the money that they're throwing around and the players I got rid of. So this time, 35 million, Ajax defender Jorrel Hato. I'm reliably informed it's pronounced. So another great Jack Rosser story, one of our Chelsea reporters. So Chelsea bidding around £35 million for the Ajax defender, utility defender, I'm told, left back or left centre back. I have actually seen him play once, but maybe it's because he had a good game that I don't remember him because he's a defender. But 19 years old, was a target for Arsenal last year because they were looking for bolstering their defence as well. And he's the Club World Cup winners now, Chelsea's. We should say, obviously looking for reinforcements on that side. He's made 100 appearances already, 111 actually for Ajax at the age of 19, and is also already in the Dutch national team. So clearly a big talent at 19, big strong defender, and Chelsea looking for that left-sided bolstering.
Absolutely. It's interesting, this one, isn't it? We're either talking about Chelsea getting rid of players, I think last week, early this week even, we're speaking about Man United after Nicholas Jackson and some of the players they'll have to get off the books, which we'll move on to in a little while after this. Hato's agent has told Der Telegraaf in Holland that yes, the club has contacted Ajax and Jorrel is now in talks with Chelsea over the deal. Now, just interesting, Dino, Tactics Exposed, of course, the show that you and I love hosting together throughout the season. Back, of course, next season as ever. So make sure you're there.
Research is underway, I can promise you.
We'll be back the week before the season starts, so keep your eye out on Sunsport YouTube. If you're wondering where we've been, poor old Dino, we thought he was going to get a rest over the summer, and then I dragged him into the Transfers Exposed studio. Just tactically, Dino, one thing I find interesting about this, Enzo Maresca clearly wants versatile players. Now, you and I covered Chelsea an awful lot last season, and it was extremely interesting, particularly around Marc Cucurella inverting and Enzo Fernandez. Lots of those direct balls from Colwill up to Jackson, who we've spoke about this week. Now, just talk to me a little bit tactically, versatile as Hato is, how you think he might slot into Chelsea's system.
Yeah, so there's two, you're quite right, and it's that box midfield that Enzo Maresca favours.
Two at the base,
two at the top. And one of those at the top is obviously Cole Palmer. The other one often was Enzo Fernandez moving into an attacking position, and then you have either Lavia or Caicedo at the base of that, and then one of the fullbacks joining to be the other base and inverting to go into midfield. There were times where Caicedo played right back, so he was the one who inverted. And there were times where it would be Malo Gusto. And then on the left-hand side, more relevant here to Hato, is that Cucurella was often the one that did that.
But now, when someone inverts, what happens to the other 4?
The other 3, the fullbacks stay as a back 3. So in this instance, with Hato being a left centre-back who can play left-back, that means probably your right-back inverts and you create a back 3 if he's the one playing left-back.
So given his profile, he's 6 foot, more of a centre-back style player, he's not going to be the ball player slotting into...
And you saw in the Club World Cup that Reece James played in central midfield in one of the games, and so if you think that they can bolster midfield by using Reece James as a right back who goes into midfield, and then Hato would come in and slot as a back 3. Cucurella can do that as well. Very versatile Cucurella. So, and then as you mentioned, Colwill, ball playing, left footed, direct passes into strikers and into number 10s, and he could do that as well as a backup for Levi Colwill. So smart signing, I would say, and not massive money in the current climate.
35 mil,
and potentially a lot of value there as well. And then that probably frees them up to get Renato Veiga off the wage bill and get some money in for him. And also Ben Chilwell is the other one that we'll be looking. Burnley are sniffing around Ben Chilwell. I think we both spoke previously about what we'd quite like Ben Chilwell at our clubs of West Ham and Tottenham as well, as an easy replacement left back who knows what he's doing. But wages are big for Chilwell, so there would have to be a meeting halfway there between what Chelsea are willing to pay up and what clubs are willing to pay.
Well, the latest with Renato Veiga at the moment, Dino, Atletico Madrid are interested, but it seems to be that they're a little bit of a standoff now. They're sort of, it's very much feels like it's a buyer's market this summer, doesn't it? They've also gone in for David Hanko from Feyenoord, and I think that's a bit of a negotiating ploy. I think Chelsea playing a little bit hardball. Atletico just going, well, look, if you're going to be like that, then we've got other options.
And it's difficult for Premier League clubs, as you say, and not just that market value. Premier League clubs have more money. All the other clubs across Europe know that, and so they're not going to be held to ransom by a Premier League club. If you want him off your wage bill, then you've got to meet us there. So there's been a lot of interest in Renato Veiga. Juventus is another one that's looked at him. Even PSG have, because it's squad building type player
and versatility.
Exactly. So, and look, I still think that Atletico Madrid are at the front of the queue, and then the other one that
let's talk. Sorry, just Chilwell quickly before we move on from left backs. Now Fulham, there's a little bit of a murmuring around Fulham. Burnley, like you say,
if Fulham sell Anthony Robinson, then they're going to need a very quick fix, and that is Ben Chilwell won't even have to move car parking space, let alone move house for him to go from Chelsea to Fulham. But
that's
FA Cup winner now as well from last season.
Absolutely.
I feel a bit sorry for Ben Chilwell. Like, we were talking about him and Luke Shaw competing as the two for the England starting spot for a long time.
He was always my pick.
Yeah, absolutely. And injuries have thwarted that, but he showed for Palace what a good player he can be in the second half of last season. And as you say, I don't think Tottenham are in that market yet, but could be as the summer goes on. West Ham, it would be a great deal, and obviously clubs like Sunderland, Burnley, and Leeds are looking for box-ready Premier League experience, and he fits the bill.
I can't see. I mean, West Ham have had a look and had talks before with that sort of money. Emerson's in there at the moment, and an excellent performer for West Ham. You've got young Ollie Scholes coming through, so they are blessed in that position. But the Fulham one, I mean, it just fits, doesn't it?
Does,
yeah. If Robinson goes.
If Robinson goes.
And as well, given that Fulham would be required to pay a significant chunk of his sort of 200 grand-ish wages, a team's only going to justify that if it's a starter.
Yes.
And Chilwell's not going to go to Tottenham and guaranteed start. No. He's not going to do that at West Ham. Burnley, you think he would, or you feel that he definitely would.
And for Chilwell, all deals are on the table. So loan to buy, loan with option, or straight buy.
While we're on Fulham and Chelsea, Dino, Kiernan Dewsbury-Hall. This is another one of those sort of London moves. West Ham have been interested and linked for quite a while, but Fulham now having a bit more of a serious look. Marco Silva fancies him on loan with an option for a permanent deal next summer. West Ham's focus has shifted somewhat. They're kind of going to battle it out with Everton, it looks like, for Douglas Luiz, because Juventus would be more than happy to see him go. He wants out of Italy as well. Never really worked since he moved there from Villa. So West Ham sort of fingers in a couple of pies. Dewsbury-Hall, I think James, our Chelsea supporting producer, he's sort of quietly full of praise for Dewsbury-Hall. Says he actually wouldn't like to see him leave. Performed well in the Conference League and the Club World Cup, did he not?
Yeah, it was almost like he was bought as a Conference League player, which is a bit harsh. I mean, we're talking loads of trophies today, haven't we? We've got lots of trophies going on. But he's a really good player. Leicester fans were gutted.
Yep.
You know, family members who are
quid
Leicester season ticket holders and
summer.
absolutely gutted when he went. But it was a funny deal because it was sort of Maresca related.
Yeah.
Obviously, him going from Leicester to Chelsea as well. But it hasn't happened for him, has it? And I think everyone looked at it at the time and thought, how's he going to get in that midfield?
Well, that's the thing. Yeah. Was it, when you say it hasn't happened to him, do you think it sort of actually probably happened exactly about as much as it was ever going to?
But then if that's the
case...
he's
performed well in the games he's played in?
He has performed well in the games he's played in, but if that's the case, then I feel a little bit disappointed that he would have gone there expecting to be the second fiddle. Like, you know,
probably wouldn't have done.
Then what? Yeah, but then that's what I mean. Well, Lavia, Casado, Fernandes, all those players that Chelsea, Palmer, who are those players they've got in those central positions?
You've got to back yourself, though, haven't you?
Yeah. But if Chelsea are paying 30 million for you as a midfield player when they've got £100 million players in there, you should know you're going in there as second fiddle.
But he's won the Conference League now, right? And played an important part in it. Lots of players, and I think football fans generally are a lot more kind and respectful of all of the European competitions.
I'm not downplaying that at all.
I do just feel I agree.
But do you make a signing? Do you go to somewhere to say, well, I'm going there as a Conference League player? Christopher Nkunku didn't do that, and he just played in the Conference League.
But compare these then, right? He goes to Chelsea. He doesn't play every single week in the Premier League. He plays in the Cups and takes them to winning the Conference League, prestigious tournament as that is, as we know. But that, or, for example, say he goes to West Ham, or say he goes to Fulham next season, and he comes a very respectful 9th in the Premier League, and he plays every single week.
Fair.
Well, no, but I'm genuinely asking, what is the... I'm not saying one is more respectful than the other.
No, that's a very fair point, and, maybe we're looking at current careers, or I am looking at current careers slightly differently, but one thing I would add is like Conor Gallagher. Conor Gallagher was the one who vacated that English midfield spot around about the same money at Chelsea because he wasn't willing to be the bit part player and wanted to play every week. Made the ambitious move to go to Atletico and played nearly every game or a lot of games and was a starter for England in the recent window. So I think Dewsbury-Hall should go somewhere. I'm not talking about bottom half of the Premier League. I'm talking about going somewhere where he can have a real impact in midfield, and Aston Villa. If they can sort that money out. Everton have got some grand plans this year.
I'm not quite sure he's very much of a David Moyes player in midfield.
No, but with the amount of signings that Newcastle are making, would he play quite a lot of Premier League game time at Newcastle?
That's just swapping the frying pan for the fire, isn't it?
But not as many quality players in those positions at Newcastle with twice the number of games for Newcastle to play next year. I look, really good player, deserves to play more often in the Premier League, and let's hope for his sake that a good deal gets done.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. Chelsea also trying to get rid of João Felix, Christopher Nkunku, Axel Disasi, Chilwell have mentioned, of course, Raheem Sterling.
Oh yeah, remember him?
Forget about him, don't we? $300,000 a week he's pulling in at Chelsea at the moment. Lots of players to get rid of for the Blues. But do let us know what you think about all of those. Are you excited about Hato? Do you think Dewsbury-Hall should leave, or do you think you should keep him on for another excellent squad player for the season? Let us know, Blues fans, what you think, and we'll see you next time on Transfers Exposed.